Hey, we want to say thanks to our sponsors, Watchman Cigars, 1812 Barbecue, Webmerized website design, Blue Collar Motorcycle Shop, and our new sponsor, Hook, Line, and Heroes. Without you guys, the show would not be possible. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast, where it's our take on life, liberty, and the pursuit of gravy, and you, the listener, are getting a degree in common sense. We are broadcasting from the Blue Collar Cycle Studio right here in beautiful Concord, North Carolina. I'll be your host, Biggin, and how about you? Across the way, on my left to your right on the radio dial, it's the pride of Mooresville, North Carolina. What up, Producer Brian?
Hello there.
And, of course, on old Mike number one, he's the pride of Anderson, South Carolina, but most of you probably know him best as the Silver Tongue one, 2016's Honorable Mention Halloween Costume Contest Award winner. Of course, he dressed up as himself, the inventor of the Redneck Egg Roll. Give it up, my man, Armando Mojo.
Thought I was about to get in a fight or something.
Well, again, we're trying to bring in our Spanish-speaking listeners, so Armando, Spanish for brother.
El Paso. Yeah, so I basically changed my shirt, and I went in as a-hole for Halloween that year, so they saw that.
So changing your shirt,
yeah,
that's what did it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, you could have won it.
So what do you see when the Pillsbury Doughboy bends over?
Ooh. Your
Donuts. Thanks to everyone for listening once again to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast. You can find us on the Facebook at Southern Fried Philosophy. You can also find us at our website at southernfriedphilosophy.com. We have playable links there. Please, wherever you subscribe, listen to your podcast, go there, hit Southern Fried Philosophy in the search bar, hit the old subscribe button, give us a like, a rating, review. That's how we move up in the old algorithms. You can follow us on the Twitters and Instagram at SFP Radio. Also, youtube.com/SFP Radio, and also our Patreon link at SFP Radio.
Is this going to be, Producer Brian, is this going to be a Rage podcast? Are we going to bring in the Rage podcast on this one?
Rage podcast? Mm-hmm. No, we haven't quite got there yet. Maybe if we all come in hungry, though, that's real possible.
Oh, there it is. That's a reference to Producer Brian's got his own SFP headline show. You can listen on Fridays, and he just gets the best of the wacky news and brings it to you. Last week, he talked about Rage Yoga.
Ooh.
It's just, yoga sounds painful. Now I'm just mad about it.
Is it like hot rage yoga? That would be painful.
Essentially, people listen to like heavy metal, drink beer, make rude gestures, cuss a lot, and there might be yoga.
Oh, okay.
So that's basically a Tuesday at the motorcycle shop. So.
Yeah. Hey, we want to give a shout out to our listeners from El Paso and Evansville. This week brought to you by the letter E. I'm going to ask you like I ask you every week, Mojo, how you be doing?
I want to. I'm doing great, by the way. So last couple shows, I can't remember which show it was. Now we announced that I was opening up my own motorcycle shop.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so I just want to kind of an inspirational our guest today. I want to kind of give a little brief story on that.
Come on with it.
So after my transplant, you go back to episode 1, hear about that. We had 26 cents in our bank account. And
holy cow!
Yeah. So times were dire. So after transplant, we kind of slowly whittled away a little bit of cash. I'm not talking about a lot of cash. I'm talking maybe $100. And along with me doing some consulting, because I wasn't eligible for disability, I just had to kind of do things on our own. So did some consulting in the restaurant industry. I couldn't go back and cook, just couldn't be on my feet.
Yeah.
And so I did some consulting part-time, made a little bit of money to help cover our bills, but I took that $100 and I went and bought something used off of Craigslist.
Okay.
And I flipped that. And I kept flipping and kept flipping and kept flipping until I squirreled away enough cash to invest in motorcycles through the former place. And then I've taken all that money, rolled it back over, and here I am sitting here today, with a new business. So I want to encourage anybody out there who would like to start their own business, that they don't have to be a millionaire, that if you stick with your dreams, stick with your passions and actually do some savvy saving, and you're passionate about what you want to do, you can make it happen. It doesn't have to be in a fancy spot or anything like that. You can do things. I mean, the wonderful world of the internet and local pages and stuff can make things possible. I mean, I know guys who are crafty with wood. I'm not a handsy guy. I can't
Joe Biden, are you?
Yeah, I sniff hair, but I'm not very crafty. I'm not very, I'm not great at designing. I'm not great with, in fact, I'm really not really good at anything in life. But people that have so much talent out there that want to do their own thing. I mean, if you're working in an auto mechanic shop and you know how to work on cars, but you want to do your own thing, don't have the money, start a mobile mechanic business. If you know how to mop, go clean houses. I mean, there's people out there that look for those talents and to want to pay you for it. So in the spirit of our guest tonight, I just want to encourage people to get out there and pursue those passions and dreams. I mean, some people like the security of a paycheck and that safety net, but sometimes you got to jump.
Yeah.
So there you go. So how you be doing?
I'm good. I'll defer over to producer Brian.
Have you guys been to Tacos for Life over by?
Yes, sir.
I have.
You guys fans of that?
I like the chorizo taco.
Chorizo taco. Well, I had lunch there today, and the name. You go there and you think, I mean, that's just a weird name to me for a restaurant. So you think taco? That's like a way of life, right? Tacos for life, like thug for life.
YOLO.
So I've only been there twice, but I kind of expect like when you go into a place like that to be like a taco subscription or something I could get.
Oh, okay.
Like Chick-fil-A, if you camp out, you get a sandwich a day for a year.
Yeah, maybe.
Why won't they not take my money to just guarantee me at least a taco a day? Like how much would that cost? To Tacos for Life to me,
right.
I'm pretty sure there's different.
Basically, like Sirius, when Sirius or XM Radio came out, you could buy a lifetime subscription.
Yeah, why can't I get a taco subscription for life? Like get a little like a gold card or something.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like that should be part of that business model. I was a little disappointed that
maybe one day
the choice.
Maybe you start your own taco business and call it Tacos Now for Life. I don't know. Like try something. Actually, that's actually pretty genius.
Tacos for later.
How about we just start
now and
one?
later.
How about we just start one with the subscription service and then close it the next day after we pop it on the subscription one?
That sounds like a Bitcoin thing.
Yeah. So the name of that place. The tacos are good. If you're in Concord, go check it out.
Yeah, you like them?
I thought I got their 2 specials. So there's like a brisket taco. They call it a 10-hour brisket taco. Mm-hmm. There's no smoke involved here, I don't think. But there's a whole lot of jalapeno pimento cheese on it. So you taste a lot of that. It's fine. I'm glad I got 1 and not 2 of those. Yeah. There's a lot of flavor. And then I forget Southwestern chicken, something almost chalupa worthy, but not quite.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chorizo on lettuce is good. I do the lettuce tacos because I'm weird. And also the puff.
A wrap. Lettuce wrap is what they call it, right?
The puffy taco they do is pretty good.
Yes.
I like the puffy.
Yeah, it's like a gordita. That's what I think. Or chalupa. What's the one? The puffy one?
Taco Bell's ruined all our terms.
I know.
But 100%.
But it's like a puffy taco.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they call it in the Mexicano taquerias, but
I've never seen it in the Mexicano taqueria.
Well, Texas style. If you go to like a Texas style that's owned by a Hispanic family,
gotcha.
They do the puffy tacos. That's pretty big in DFW and Houston area.
They're delicious. I like them.
They are
good.
I had the shrimp and crab cake one the other day. Took the boys.
Interesting.
It's good. Yeah.
Interesting.
Can I tell you something that burns my biscuits? Drivers. We've got, leaving foster care kid one's daycare, there's a turn where a sign that says you can only turn right. And every time I leave there, people are constantly turning left. It makes it easier. And I understand why they do it. They don't have to go, if you turn right, you have to go around and do a semicircle and go all the way around, or a full circle and go all the way around. It makes it easier if you turn left. But the sign specifically says turn right. So I always turn right. And the foster kid's like, why do you always turn right? I'm like, because the sign says that and you got to follow the rules. But he's like, everybody else is turning left. I get it. Now the gods have heard me, because they are putting in a new subdivision across the way, and now you can't turn left anymore. And I'm like, ha-ha!
Gotcha.
Got you. So that was a little bit of vindication. But they've also changed the traffic pattern on Poplar Tent Road where you can't also take a left. You have to go straight and then do a circle and then take another left, take a right. It's really confusing, but people are constantly running red lights acting like it's no big deal. Do you guys see this? Because you drive a ton, right? People just don't observe any traffic signs anymore. It feels like.
No, I don't think they do, and especially the modern transportation needs and the influx of commuters we have in our area has caused different types of traffic patterns to develop, and people aren't used to that. Like our bridges now, we instead of crossing right lane, left lane, we now go crissy-cross. And I haven't seen any wrecks, which is awesome,
right?
Because I think it does. I think the studies have shown that it actually does decrease like head-on collisions and things like that.
Right.
But the U-turns, people don't understand U-turns.
Yeah,
and people don't understand the no left turn sign at the red lights. I see that all the time.
Yeah,
and I don't know if it's just because they lived here forever and that used to be a left turn and now they have to observe it. But I've almost been creamed twice by two Asian ladies, two separate times, driving on a one-way road coming at me. And I'm like, and then I beat my horn at me and they lay their horn on me like I'm going the wrong way.
Well, that's just stereotypical right there, my friend. Well.
Factual, though.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that is.
I think people, like, when you get in a car, you lose some of your humanity almost.
Sure.
Like, you stop forgetting that other people exist on this planet.
I think
and that
so.
You might need to have some consideration. So 2 weeks ago, I was in D.C., went to a football game, Redskins, 49ers game. I had to park in a big field for $60.
What?
Yeah, that's a different topic. I'm talking about biscuits burning. But it takes like an hour and a half to get out of there because it's like,
you ain't going nowhere.
It's one of those, just if everyone let one person out, you would just go and it wouldn't be a problem. But everyone's like inching forward and trying to squeeze in every chance you get. And it's the worst of humanity is when you get in a car. And then, or in a hurry. And I'm also guilty of this, I would say. I've turned U-turns that used to not be another U-turn sign. I've gone that way, then had the blue lights roll up behind me. Oh, but it used to be, and I got off of that one. But I've been that guy. I sometimes go, do I really have to follow those rules? So I'm guilty as well.
I can't do it. And they tick me off so much. But now they can't turn left, and that makes me happy.
But we turn it left somehow. They'll go over the median or whatever concrete barrier.
There is a fact check I think we had from the last episode that I want to bring up. I did not put it on our thing, and it's very quick. Guys, I did try the honey roasted barbecue from Chick-fil-A, the sauce, versus the regular Chick-fil-A sauce. Y'all, it's pretty much spot on.
It's close, right?
They're very close to each other.
I'll have to go back and check
now. You get one of each, and you taste them. And I've got a pretty good palate. I feel like I can taste differences and stuff. I think they're putting that Chick-fil-A sauce in that packet.
The Chick-fil-A sauce is a combination of barbecue, honey mustard, and ranch. I think the only thing that they don't add to the honey roasted barbecue is the ranch.
Well, see, I know actually the Chick-fil-A sauce is Dijon honey mustard.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, you kind of get like that little bit of a white peppery taste in it. So that, but you're right on the barbecue sauce and whatever else. But
there
was a copycat company who broke it down.
Yeah,
sure. They nailed it with a Dijon because it's that white wine kind of peppery. Anyway,
but it's pretty spot on. So if we ever run out of Chick-fil-A sauce, a good go-to is the honey roasted barbecue.
Yeah, and that stuff's just sitting in the little next to the napkins or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have to show ID to get that.
It's kind of hard to dip in the packet
receipt,
though.
The packet, it's a packet, so you get a much smaller size.
You just open it, you eat a chicken nugget, and then you suck the
packet
packet dry.
While you're driving, though.
Oh, well. That's...
maybe take it stick a straw in it like a Capri Sun.
There's solutions to these problems.
Sure.
It's the 21st century.
Modern problems call for modern solutions.
That's right.
All right, so let's go into some wacky news brought to you by 1812 Barbecue. If you need a fantastic catering service at a great price, and again, those sides are impeccable. Really, check out our friends at 1812 Barbecue. They can hook you guys up. All right. So here is a warning coming to us by myrecipes.com, which that's where you get all of your good news sources from. Guys, there's some bad news. Experts warn of a looming bacon shortage. A Virginia-based Smithfield Foods Incorporated, it's the world's biggest pork producer, is warning that an outbreak of African swine fever is wiping out the hog farms in China. It could result in a stateside shortage of the pig belly and even a ham next year. Go ahead and stock up for Christmas because you may not have it for next year. It says that the Chinese have an insatiable appetite for pork, and so they are trying to mediate this bacon shortage, but we are losing about 300 million to 350 million pigs from China, a quarter of the world's pork supply. Smithfield is reportedly prioritizing the supply to its U.S. customers based on directing meat exports to China, but this could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for U.S. farmers. Enjoy all that pork while you can. So basically, the African swine fever is wiping out the pigs.
So bacon's about to get more expensive? Is that what you just said?
Potentially. Yeah.
Oh, it will, out of demand. See, back in the restaurant days, I used to follow what they call pork belly futures because I did buying for a corporation, and that was part of one of the things I would buy would be all the pork products, bacon for our company. So I would go in and order, for a 6-month contract, I'd go in and order, maybe 60,000 tons of bacon.
60,000 tons?
Tons. So to get a lock in a price. So
wow.
I did notice that October 1st, the pork belly futures were starting to jump up. So I guess this is probably a response to what's happening in China. And actually, I think Smithfield is actually owned by a Chinese company now.
Are they?
I think so.
Would not surprise me.
Yeah, I saw that somewhere too.
Because China has an insatiable appetite for pork.
I mean, they put pork in everything. Fried rice. Yeah, we can have pork candy.
Yeah.
So
it's delicious.
Yeah.
The 1812 barbecue story started over 20 years ago when Eric and his dad started entering local barbecue competitions for fun. During that time, Eric, a United States Marine, has traveled all over the world picking up flavors and techniques that today is the unique flavor of the award-winning 1812 barbecue. He has honed his craft to bring you fall-off-the-bone pulled pork, mouth-watering ribs, and finely crafted beef brisket. Eric has developed his own amazing dry rub and delicious barbecue sauce. And let's not forget the sides: coleslaw, smoked Gouda mac and cheese, cowboy baked beans, and to top it all off, banana pudding and pecan pie for dessert. Getting hungry yet? Good. Call or email Eric at 1812barbecue and he can make your next catered meal happen. Wedding and graduation parties, family reunions, and other events will be memorable with 1812 barbecue. Want to try your own hand at smoking meats? Pick up your own 1812 dry rub and start the journey for yourself. Shipping all over the world, connect with Eric on his Facebook page, Instagram at 1812 barbecue, or call 704-604-5148, or email Eric at eric.line@1812barbecue.com, and he'll be glad to help any way he can. But have no fear, producer Brian shot us this article that proud carnivores see going meatless as weakness, but Beyond Meat, the company, the bacon could change that. The allure of bacon is often the last hurdle for meat eaters considering vegetarianism, but too much for if you're trying to give up bacon. It's no surprise that faux meat company Beyond Meat, after turning a meatless burger patty, ground beef, and sausage, is now set its sights on bacon. A plant-based substitute for bacon is currently in development. It's been a popular breakfast staple through American culture. I thought this was interesting. The trendiness for bacon started within the protein diet phase or craze of the 1980s and 90s. So remember that the Atkins diet and all that kind of stuff. That's where they said that bacon really started to take its hyped. What's the word I'm thinking of? Like, just where it started getting its popularity.
Because the Atkins diet?
Because the Atkins diet. People started eating more bacon.
To lose weight?
And then people were like, this is great. I'm going to eat more of it. So, but anyway, they were saying that was the reason why the popularity of bacon started going up. But an interesting turn on this article is saying that, it's talking about trying to create a meatless bacon, that there's two companies, Beyond Meat and Impossible Foods are in an arms race to create a plant-based bacon. But the article takes an interesting turn saying that bacon is patriarchal, often from men, that it has strong associations with masculinity, from gendered idioms of bring home the bacon, the cheaply stereotypical ads from Taco Bell that says guys love bacon, and popular characters like Ron Swanson is the pinnacle of masculinity. So evidently you have to be a man to eat bacon and enjoy it. Now we're going into faux bacon. What's going to happen with the masculinity of men?
Well, I guess we'll grow breasts from all the soy. Can the faux Nazis ruin anything else for us?
And they're trying.
I guess cigars are going to be like phallic symbols, and brown liquor is probably going to be something, a question of our virility or something. I mean, it's everything they touch they just ruin. Here's the problem with the Impossible company, or Impossible, and what was the other one?
Beyond Meat.
Their products are so processed.
Right. And that's what it was saying.
I think that they're going to people are going to run into gut issues with over-processed foods. I mean, now if you eat clean, like whole protein or whole vegetable products, you prepare it clean like that, you're going to live a better life. You start introducing all these super processed foods. I mean, you can't feed your kid Kraft macaroni every night. It's a super processed food. I mean, trust me, my daughter tries, but you're going to have issues.
Yeah.
Any of the processed stuff, you go down the freezer section, that's all you get. And you really can't, I don't know that you can get these plant-based things that aren't frozen and like have some kind of chemical hold them together.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be appealing to eat at all. So they got to make it look like food. And you can't do that without some science. Yeah.
It says in the article, neither company's products are health foods because they're highly processed with lots of saturated fat and sodium, which, you have to, like we said with the Impossible Burger, Whopper, you got to add the sodium to make it taste good.
This isn't about health. This is about not eating animals.
And I think there's just like how we've talked about the cost of energy to produce an electric car versus a combustible vehicle that runs off of fossil fuels. It actually takes more energy and a carbon footprint to create a Tesla versus it does, my F-350 diesel.
Yep.
I think you're going to find out, too, in these companies, if you look at the carbon footprint on what they're producing, and to produce the same amount of hamburger, quote-unquote, faux burgers, as it would the same product from a cow, your carbon footprint is probably going to be huge. Yeah, you don't have cows out there farting, but you're going to use a lot of energy to produce this stuff.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. The article is saying, let's see. Oh, man, I really want to read this. The question is, if those ideas will mesh neatly into bacon that should come close enough to the real thing, would convince obstinate carnivores that it's possible for them to enjoy food that wasn't the result of a slaughter, or conversely, if people who hang their identity on eating real meat will never allow themselves to waver.
I don't think I hang my identity on eating meat.
Right.
I just enjoy eating meat.
Right.
Plus, I feel better when I eat meat.
Yeah.
If I just
100%.
Personally, for me, dietarily, whatever.
That's a word.
That's a word. You just made it up.
I feel better. If I just eat grains and vegetables all day, I'm never.
I get a headache.
Yeah, I don't feel good, and I mean maybe that'll detox me or something like that. I mean, I was a vegetarian for 7 years. I thoroughly enjoy eating meat every day, every meal. I mean, I just do. I like the protein. So, I mean, I don't see me going, I really have a hankering for bacon, so maybe I should go get this fake bacon today to make me a fake BLT. I mean, I don't see that happening.
But is bacon, like in the beginning of the article, it was saying like that it's the last thing that a meat eater wants to give up. So if they could possibly create something close enough that tastes similarly to bacon, do you think that would push more people to become a vegetarian?
I don't think so because, number one, I don't think the cost will be there. Like you can buy a pound of bacon on sale for $6.99 to $7.99 a pound. How much is it going to cost for Impossible bacon? It's probably going to be $13, for a pound if you compare it ounces to ounces.
Yeah.
I think that the same person who wrote this article also wrote the austere religious scholar who was killed by U.S. forces too. So,
hey, have you guys seen this, and they're kind of related to this, the cricket meal stuff, where people are like making protein out of crickets?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what this reminds me of, talking about the carbon footprint, because they say, a million crickets getting squished together is less than cows like methane and all the carbon stuff. But sort of reminds me of cricket bars, the protein powder stuff.
Yeah, now they have the actual powder that you can bake with it too, and it's my opinion what this is leading to. I mean, I find it intriguing for like innovation. Because of course our American Western diet palate is a little different than, for example, the Burmese jungle. Because the Burmese jungle, they do actually have edible insects, and they depend on it. They don't have the sources of farming that we do. So I understand other things that we may look down upon, eating insects or eating rodents. Well, that's part of their daily palate. Well, I don't want to go to that.
Sure.
I have no desire to do that. This is nothing but a ploy to get us, I think, a bigger picture of us getting to eating just sources of stuff, like lab-grown meat, when that's engineered enough and the cost goes down versus $10,000 a pound or whatever it costs now to create. That's what people want us to go to. Why can't we just do it the way we've been doing it forever?
Well, the argument from my side is we've already genetically modified fruits and vegetables already. We're already in that spot. Like, is there really anything that's whole, like that's actually clean, that's not processed or genetically altered?
I think so. I mean, but I think the GMO, you have two types of genetically modified. You have genetically modified by nature, because if you look at what a tomato looks like now versus it did 200 years ago, 300 years ago, we've hybridized these plants to suit our growing needs. That's one way of genetic modification. Then you have the ones who actually going in with DNA splicing and put jellyfish DNA in it to make it more water tolerant or something like that.
Right.
I don't like that. I mean, we do consume GMOs. There's just no way to get around it.
Right. I
don't like that. I try to steer away from it. Sometimes it's not cost effective, but I just don't want to go to an overprocessed product. I mean, I challenge anyone to go back and watch the Charlton Heston.
Is this the Old Testament movie?
Ben-Hur, right?
No, not Ben-Hur. Soylent Green. Go back and watch Soylent Green, because that's eventually what we're going to end up going to. Is all one universal product that's provided by the government, and you'll have to save you from the spoiler. I'll let you watch it and see the outcome.
Yeah, this is preparing us for a dystopian future where there are no cattle or pigs. I watch a lot of sci-fi, so I'm just waiting for the nuclear holocaust.
This is where we're all
going to be eating like cricket bars and jelly something.
Oh, Jesus, come back before then. All right, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we will go to our hot topics brought to you by Watchman Cigars. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. You're listening to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast, and we are going to go into our hot topics brought to you by Watchman Cigars. If you want a quality cigar at a reasonable price, check out our friends at Watchman Cigars. All right, guys, tomorrow, as we record this, tomorrow is Halloween. We probably, as you are listening to the show, probably have a ton of Halloween candy that's left over, or, you've already ate a bunch of Halloween candy. So, like I love doing, I love brackets. So, we're going to do a Halloween candy bracket. So, gentlemen, let's go. This is a best of 32. So, we will break it down. Here we go. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups against the Heath Bar. The Heath Bar.
It's not even fair.
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
I understand. Reese's. Everybody good with Reese's for the win?
Good.
All right. Tim, we got Tim Sigmond. He is one of our guests for the upcoming segment and interview. So Reese's. All right. Next one, Jolly Ranchers versus Pop Rocks.
Pass? Is that
There's only one flavor of Jolly Rancher, which is sour apple.
Ooh, I will disagree with you. I like watermelon.
Okay, I forgot about watermelon. Yeah, watermelon.
Watermelon.
Jolly Rancher. Wow, I haven't had one of those in a very long time.
Yeah.
But Pop Rocks, do those have a flavor, or are they just like
No, they have
make you
flavor
freak
to
out?
them, and
Yeah,
then
it's like sugar flavor.
Okay, sugar flavor. I think Jolly Ranchers is more interesting. Of the two,
I think
but-
Pop Rocks are fun.
I like the popping on my tongue.
it's fun to give them to like little kids that never had them before.
Yeah, it's good Pop Rocks.
All right.
Yeah, Pop Rocks, sure, why not?
All
Pop
right.
Rocks.
I'm going to go with Pop Rocks. Milky Way or Payday? Milky Way or Payday?
See,
Payday any day.
Payday, you can make your own peanut butter in your mouth.
I do like a Payday, but I also like Milky Way. So
See, what is Milky Way? Is what nougat,
caramel,
chocolate,
Yeah.
I think-
Payday is just going to be
peanut and caramel.
peanut and
Yeah,
caramel.
but it's just really salted peanut.
And it's satisfying.
It's
too.
very good.
Yeah.
I'm Payday.
Payday.
All right. I'm going to go Payday as well. Sour Patch Kids or Smarties?
Smarties is just a waste of like energy produced by humans to make those little crappy products. So I'm gonna go Sour Patch Kids.
I love Smarties.
I love Smarties.
See,
The
Sour
white one- I
Patch
like the
Kids.
white ones.
Yes,
Sour
it's the
Patch
white
Kids
ones.
you can put in vodka.
Well, I think you may have won me over on that one. But I do love Smarties so
Love
much.
Smarties.
I will bring you every Smartie we get this year and bring it to y'all's house.
Done.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go with Smarties. Smarties for the win. Twix versus Airheads.
Twix.
Twix.
Twix, that's a no-brainer.
Right Twix specifically.
Because Airhead will get on your teeth.
Man, it
and
gets everywhere.
You'll be brushing it off for Thanksgiving.
You say the right Twix. I know.
yeah,
that
love
drives
Twix.
me nuts.
So it's funny. I think it's hilarious. That's all.
Starburst or candy corn? I think this is probably the battle of the ages on this bracket.
Candy corn is horrible.
I mean, how many candy corn memes have we seen over the past 5
Yeah.
days?
I literally bought a bag of candy corn last night. And I almost brought it because I saw it on the bracket. Because I like candy corn.
I
can't
love candy
stand
corn.
Candy corn. It is like the most gross, waxy type substance you can eat.
What about they even have the different flavors like chocolate candy corn?
Well,
I had some
then you're getting away
maple.
from it.
The maple
Maple?
one. That's
way too much.
That's too far. Yep.
I saw a great meme. It talks about everybody fussing about candy corn, but the circus peanuts get no shade. I hate those things.
I also like those. So basically, the 50-cent candy, like the cheap candy aisle at the convenience store.
That's you.
That's all day long. Man.
All you.
All right.
Butterscotch, whatever.
Now, butterscotch, all right. That brings back great
Those
memories.
little red, then you can't open them because they're like glued together so hard. The
Right,
cardboard, those things.
Look, I can't
All
tell you
day
how
long.
many Werther's originals I ate in church.
I do love
when
me some
my
Werther's.
mother smacked me in the mouth for talking. So
All right, so Candy Crunch for the win on that one. Nestle Crunch or Three Musketeers? I think Nestle Crunch is just a waste to try to make me eat like rice.
I'd like to point out also on this Halloween candy. I can't stand Halloween candy, period, because you'll get like, for example, I go to the gas station, I'll get a big Snickers.
Yep.
I eat one big Snickers.
Yep.
If I sit down to my daughter's Halloween candy because I exploit it, I will eat every Snickers in there.
Sure.
And there could be 60 of them in there.
Yeah.
And I don't care if they're full size, mini size, I will eat every one of them until they're gone.
Right.
Miniature things are always better, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like sliders versus hamburgers.
I love miniature things.
I don't know.
Like little things. I
Like,
don't know why.
I will feel the diabetes coming on while I'm eating Halloween candy.
It could be, as long as if it doesn't have the word king size on it, you have to eat all of them.
I saw a meme, I think what my wife sent me. It says, it started with a kiss, and it has a picture of just a Hershey kiss, and then it shows, and then I don't know what happened. Like, then this happened. There's like a bag of wrappers. Or like a whole pile of them.
And you don't feel bad with the Hershey's Kisses because you can crumple them up so it doesn't feel like you ate that whole thing.
Yeah, and
know?
you just, if you're at work, you just take the trash to your coworker's trash can, drop it in there, and
Sure.
there's no shame.
There's no guilt.
Yeah, no one knows.
So Nestle Crunch or Three Musketeers?
I'm not a big fan of Three Musketeers. I'll go Crunch.
I could go either way. I did have a birthday cake flavored Three Musketeers the other day. It's on the list, but
Yeah.
it didn't taste like birthday cake. I'm going to go, I kind of like a Crunch. Well, see, because Crackle's not on here, right?
Right, it is not.
Okay, I have to go Crunch as a stand-in for Crackle
Okay.
because I like the crispy.
Do
I
you
like
guys
rice.
want to?
We're going Three Musketeers.
Oh, I'm going to go Three Musketeers, but
All
if
right.
both of them do that, then Three Musketeers will win.
That's fair.
Hershey Bar versus Mounds and or Almond Joy. They're in the same bucket.
I was not a big fan of coconut until recently. So I'm going to go Almond Joy Mounds.
Okay.
Almond Joy.
Almond Joys.
Almond Joy Mounds.
I will agree with that one.
Absolutely. I wish there was more of them in the little thing.
But
like
don't get me
suction
wrong.
bites.
I do love Hershey, just a plain Hershey bar. I do love
Do
a
you?
plain Hershey bar, yeah.
Well,
I'm sure. Let me retract that.
Yeah.
I love a plain Hershey bars because I can just eat one of them. So
Well, even a regular Hershey bar has like 8 regular little bars in it, right?
yeah.
So
Well, but see, I can't eat just 8. It's
okay.
16 or 32.
It's a serious.
It's
Okay.
a multiple.
Yeah.
This is a situation. You talk about getting the big Almond Joy versus the little ones. I want the handful of little ones because there's 2 in the package. Don't do it.
No,
all right.
That's
Not
a
at all.
teaser.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
that's like my wife putting on sexy music and lighting the candles and then goes to sleep. Just a teaser.
all right, here's the other side of the bracket. Snickers versus Hot Tamales.
Oh,
Y'all-
come on. That's
Really?
Not even.
That's not even close.
Yeah.
Snickers.
I know.
In true 1 versus 16 fashion.
Yeah, sure. Whoppers over $100,000.
Ooh, the 100 grand bar.
100 grand.
Absolutely.
That's a good bar.
Is that the crispy thing? What is that?
It's
That's-
the dark chocolate, right, with the nuts on it. Is that right? No, that's Mr. Goodbar.
Ooh, I like that one.
I love.
Here's
this.
the thing. I got to represent Whopper. I love me some Whoppers. All right. I just got
do
to.
too.
I know it's not going to. I'm not going to win, but I could eat
I can look it up.
pounds of Whoppers. What are you? So you guys don't even know what it is. How are you voting for it?
No,
That's
because I've had it. I
Yeah.
can remember it. All right,
it's like a wafer kind of thing, isn't it? It's
100 grand candy bars produced by Ferrera. The candy
like fake peanut butter. It's a wannabe
it's
Butterfinger.
caramel chocolate and crisp rice.
See, there's that crisp rice again. I'm anti-crisp rice.
See, I can't remember what. There was another brand besides Whoppers. I can't remember. It was a knockoff brand. So we were poor, so we had to order
Yeah,
a
well,
knockoff
the
brand.
Whoppers, sometimes you get the stale one that's really chewy.
Ooh, yeah.
That one always throws me for
That's
a
like
loop.
that hard pork rind that you get. It breaks your tooth.
Oh, yeah.
So are we going Whoppers?
Oh, did that just happen?
I said 100 grand.
Oh, he said he's going against his.
I don't like crisp rice. I'm out on the crisp rice.
Okay, so do we have
100
2
grand.
and 2?
He's going 100 grand.
Okay, he's going 100 grand. I'm going Whoppers.
I'm going Whoppers.
Jill, you're the
Jill?
tiebreaker.
100 grand.
Oh! All right, Nerds versus Twizzlers.
Do we have to decide?
I mean, this.
Even the Nerds does go great in vodka.
There we go again with the vodka. That's a good point.
Nerds, you can get like the 2 flavor packs and you do them both at the same
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do
I
like
like
that
Nerds.
part.
I'm going to go Nerds just because Twizzlers is kind of like eating a Yankee candle, but not the good flavors.
Do you guys like black licorice?
Nope, I don't like any licorice.
No.
None.
I'd rather eat a plant-based bacon piece
All right, Nerds for the win. M&M's versus Laffy Taffies.
with nut or without.
Ooh.
It just says plain.
Makes a difference. Yeah.
What was this
Does
now?
it?
I didn't-
Well, it's against Laffy Taffy, so I might have to go M&M's because that
Oh, M&M's. Oh,
M&M's for the win.
taffy is just
It's like
Yeah.
the airheads.
and it leaves
gets
a
everywhere.
film in your mouth too.
It does, especially. But I like the banana. But it'll last all day.
Now I do like the jokes.
Yes,
But
the jokes
besides,
are where
the
it's
jokes
at.
are.
You don't eat the jokes though.
I think the package is actually probably better than the product. I mean, I'd rather eat the
100%.
package. So
I'd rather just read the jokes and throw
yeah,
it away.
M&M's. They're
M&Ms.
boring, but they're better.
Yeah. Kit Kat versus Milk Duds. I love me a Kit Kat, y'all.
but also like Milk Duds too.
See, Milk Duds, you go to the movie theater and they last the whole movie. Like
no,
it takes
no,
that-
they don't. They
for
don't make
me,
it to the previews.
Guys,
they do for me because I have enough cavities or fillings. If I don't go real slow,
Yeah, because
it's
they'll pull
going
them
to
out.
be $3,000. So
let me also point out, if you bring enough Kit Kats, they can last you the entire
well,
movie.
they do have the little bag. Like you can get like a 3-pound bag to take in with you, the mini Kit Kats.
Yeah.
I guess you can do that.
Or
Kit
just
Kats.
15 of the other. I'm going to go
Kat.
Kit Kat.
But you
Kat.
put them next to each other, it's going to be Kit Kat. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tootsie Rolls versus Gummy Bears.
Ooh,
Tootsie
Tootsie.
Roll.
gummy bears.
Gummy bears.
Gummy
Also-
bears do go great in vodka. Though.
I was waiting for that one. I like Gummy Bears. So are we all, is it gummies?
Nah, I said Tootsie, but I
Tootsies.
want to be the abstaining
Okay.
UN vote.
Tootsie's a cylinder version of the Milk Dud.
Oh.
You had the fake Tootsie Rolls. They're like purple or what, like the colored flavor fruity ones. That,
The fruity Tootsie Rolls. Yeah, those
no.
are disgusting.
All right, so
So I
Tootsie
guess,
Rolls
it's,
for the
I
win?
guess it's Gummy Bears. It's 3-2.
Jill? Ooh.
So gummies for the win?
I'll have my Gummy Bears with vodka. So
You can. Butterfingers versus Swedish fish.
I do like Swedish fish, but not over Butterfinger.
Is this the new Butterfinger?
Oh, remember we had that one. I like the old
or
Butterfinger
the OG
better.
Butterfinger?
I like the original Butterfinger.
It's Butterfinger. Yeah.
Yeah, even with it, I'm not going to choose that over Swedish.
It's a classic.
Swedish fish. That's like Twizzlers again, almost to me.
Skittles over Baby Ruth.
I hate Skittles.
Baby Ruth?
Baby Ruth.
I like both.
I like Baby Ruth.
I like the peanuts though.
Baby
in
Ruth.
The Baby Ruth is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Baby Ruth. All right, so now we've got Reese's versus Pop Rocks. Y'all.
Reese's.
Reese's.
I think it's,
We've got Payday over Smarties.
Payday.
Payday.
Yeah.
Twix over Candy Corn.
Twix, easy.
Twix.
Yeah.
Twix. And Three Musketeers over Almond Joy.
Nope. Almond Joy for me.
Yeah.
Almond Joy. Almond Joy.
Almond Joy.
I think you're right. All right. So then we've got Snickers over 100 grand.
Snickers.
Nerds over M&M's.
M&M.
Kit Kat over Gummy Bears.
Kit Kat.
Kit Kat.
It's all going to come down to chocolate. Let's just be real here.
Butterfinger over Baby Ruth.
Ooh, that's a
I'm going Baby Ruth on this one. So I'm sure put my flag.
Baby Ruth.
Planet.
Baby Ruth.
I like those peanuts. They don't stick to your teeth quite
The
so bad.
Butterfinger sticks to your teeth too much for me.
It's good. It's
And
great.
I love peanut butter. But
I like it in a milkshake. Give it to me in like a Blizzard or something.
100%.
Every day.
I might have to go just because of the new Butterfinger not being great as a classic. I might have to go Baby Ruth.
Okay. All right. Easy peasy. All right. Reese's over. Is that?
Can't read his writing.
I can't. I do this every time. Payday? Do we say? Yeah, Payday.
Does it matter? Reese's over. I mean, is Reese's going to
Reese's
lose
over anything.
this bracket? That's,
Twix over Almond Joy.
Ooh.
Twix. I got to go Twix. I
Almond
like
Joy.
caramel.
I like Twix too.
Twix.
Almond Joy.
Almond Joy. Twix. I'm going to go with Twix as well. Snickers over M&M's.
Snickers.
Kit Kat over.
Just because M&M's, you can't drive with those things. That will end up in your seat, your vent, cup holders, you under your pants that you sit on, and they melt before the meeting.
Do you remember that
Amateur.
Tommy Boy? The Tommy Boy movie where it slides
the
in.
vent, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Kit Kat over Baby Ruth.
Going Baby Ruth.
I'm gonna go Kit Kat just because you feel less guilty by the rationing bars, because you peel one off at a time.
Does anyone ever just bite the bar and not break them off?
But I also, but I also,
I
feel,
went rogue one time and did it.
I've done that, but you kind of feel like you just ripped the mattress tag off too. You're kind of going, you're
bad
going against
about
like a federal law or something.
All right, so we got Baby Ruth. You've got Payday.
Wait, he said Twix, right?
Wait, Twix. Sorry.
Yeah.
I
Twix.
think Baby
You said
Ruth will be my choice on this one.
Baby
actually,
Ruth?
Yeah.
Twix.
I think a Baby Ruth is just
Oh,
a
sorry,
chocolate
just Kit
covered
Kat.
Payday, right? It's Kit Kat
Kit Kat
versus
versus
Payday.
Versus Baby Ruth. Kit
Baby
Kat.
Ruth for me. He said Kit Kat. It's getting complicated.
Yep.
I think Baby Ruth took it.
I'm
Tim,
going to
you said Baby Ruth, right?
Baby Ruth,
Yeah,
absolutely.
okay.
All right. And Jill, you said Baby Ruth or Kit Kat. Okay. So no, Kit Kat won it.
What?
Ooh. All right. All right. Here's the final four.
Upset.
Reese's over Twix.
Reese's.
This is where it gets difficult.
Reese's.
I would go Twix.
Reese's, Twix. Jill? Reese's for the win. On that one, Snickers over Kit Kat.
Snickers.
Snickers.
Doesn't matter.
Snickers. Gentlemen, ladies, Reese's versus Snickers.
Snickers. You just can't go wrong with the classic.
Yeah, plus it has more components to it. I'm going to go Snickers.
You feel fuller after a Snickers.
You're satisfied.
That's their whole marketing campaign.
I do love their commercials. So there's that. Jill? Snickers over Reese's?
Can you deep fry Reese's? Because you can deep fry Snickers.
That's
You can
true.
deep fry anything.
Yeah,
But
you can.
It holds up, I should say.
Probably Snickers.
Snickers just took out Reese's. Wow.
Also, I want to point out there's some recipes going around online that you can take your leftover Halloween candy and put it all in one bake a cake. Don't do that. Someone brought that to our life group 2 years ago.
It's like a Halloween fruitcake.
Oh, my God. Let me just tell you.
No, didn't turn out too well.
What like all the candies I hate are in this
in that thing
together
You
with
don't
the
like
things
it.
I like, and it's just it's like eating black licorice jalapeno jelly Spam. I mean, it's just it's not very good.
Pumpkin spice Spam. Guys, so Snickers won it. Our 2019 Best Halloween Candy Bracket. Congratulations, Snickers. Way to do it. Can I tell you the greatest moment of my entire life being a fat man was I got to tour the Snickers manufacturing plant in Baylor, Texas. It's the only place in the world that they make Snickers is there. So is it not Baylor, but it's where Baylor's at. Waco. Man, that was impressive. If you've never had which you probably haven't, a Snickers bar right off the conveyor belt without the chocolate on it yet, where it's warm nougat only.
It's a payday.
Oh, wow.
But it's warm. Like, it's fantastic. And they would, like, trim it, and most of it would, like, some of it would fall into this giant trash can, and they just throw it out or give it, I mean, they give it to the pigs and stuff like that.
That's like, I think someone told me getting, like, a Budweiser straight out of the factory is amazing.
Yeah, probably. I can imagine that.
Yeah.
But that was, like, I just reached in and grabbed as much as I could and shoved it as much in my mouth as I possibly could fit.
Next time we'll visit and we'll sneak in to-go containers.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Also, getting Starburst, because they make them there, put those in your pocket, let them warm up a little bit. That's also very
I
good.
only like one flavor, Starburst. I'm kind of picky.
Pink?
Cherry.
If you're in the market for a high-quality cigar for a very reasonable price, you must check out our friends at Watchman Cigars. Watchman Cigars is a family-owned business that puts the customer first with the best customer service in the business. Watchman Cigars offers the Habano for a full, spicy flavor, the Connecticut for a mild, easy-to-smoke option, and the Maduro for a strong, powerful experience. They even do specialty blends and partner with you to provide a custom, exclusive line just for you. Watchman Cigars has all your cigar needs. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Watchman Cigars 1991, or check out his new website at watchmancigars.com or the sponsor section of our website. All right, you had a article you wanted to bring up.
Yeah, so, I mean, tomorrow's Halloween. So by the time this is recorded or posted, everyone will be, that's not already tired of Halloween, will be extra tired of Halloween. But
We'll be walking past Valentine's decorations.
Yeah, that'll be next. So this is kind of, a theme. We did the Halloween thing, and you're welcome. They're all, the cravings you have, they're all like 60% off now. So you get those bags of candy.
Yeah, I love that time of year.
Yeah, it's perfect for that.
It's like Christmas for fat
So
kids.
I'm sure you guys have seen this in the news. It's the McKamey Manor, the haunted house. It says if you can survive, it's a $20,000 payday if you not the candy bar.
Right.
That wasn't a callback joke. Apparently you can get like paid if you make it through this haunted house. It's so terrifying. So
Okay.
I've been researching this, just kind of looking into it. Tis the season. Me and you talked a couple weeks about how we don't necessarily like these as adults anyway. But I found some excerpts of the waiver.
Okay.
So I'm just going to kind of read those out and let you kind of.
So just to be clear,
give me
if
your
I
thoughts.
survive this haunted house, I will get paid $20,000.
Yes.
How long is this thing?
According, it could take up to 10 hours.
10 hours
to go through this thing. And the waiver is 40 pages and takes a couple hours to just fill out the waiver.
Is your lawyer present at the time?
That's not. I don't think so. I think you just walk into this guy's backyard and sign
Lord
a Google
have
Doc or
mercy.
something. Yeah. So part of the process is going through this, but some of the waiver points have come up. There's screenshots of it. So
Okay.
I have my opinions about this place, but I'll get to that later. So I'm just going to read some of these to you, and
Okay.
you can just tell me if you would sign off on this. So the first one here says, participant understands that they may incur injuries from falling props in the event that they become unstable during the tour. So
Okay.
stuff could fall on you during the tour.
Okay, here's the thing. Let me just tell you right now at this moment, the fact that I have to read a 40-page waiver, that already puts me out. I'm not going to read 40 pages.
So you
That's
just sign
just
the
too
bottom
long.
and go in. You don't worry about it, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
You don't read the user agreements on all your iPhone stuff.
You're right. I would never have.
40 pages. Okay,
Yeah,
so
you're not paying me $20,000 either.
Yeah, it's just true.
stuff falls on my head. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that seems reasonable, right?
Right.
Okay, the next one says, participant fully understands and agrees that they may come in contact with carbon monoxide poisoning with regard to use of artificial fog.
So the fog machine's a little heavy. So right now I can wear
I think the fog machine is a Volkswagen.
I can wear a football helmet and a gas mask. I'm okay.
Okay, so
That'll
far so
cover
good.
my 20 grand.
So let's go to another one to see. Participant fully understands and agrees that they may come in contact. Oh, I did that one. There's just weird screenshots. Participant fully understands that injuries may occur during their tour, which may include but not be limited to head, neck, and back injuries, death, stroke, traumatic brain injury, hematoma. That's like bleeding, right? Loss of consciousness, whiplash, harmful heart reactions, nausea, headache, dizziness, lacerations, broken or sprained bones, torn ligaments, bleeding wounds, scrapes and or cuts, heat stroke, or drowning, and does not hold, it says ilm in the document, responsible.
That's the same thing you have to agree to when you go on the Cyclone at Six Flags. So I think that I'm okay with that part so far.
Okay. Let's see. Participant fully understands and agrees that their tour may include the use of hypodermic needles, zappers, tasers, or dog shot collars.
Now we're getting heavy.
Yes, this is all part of the preamble to getting. Yeah. Participant fully understands and agrees that they may be crushed in a pit by various objects.
What? No. Now,
Now you're starting to change your mind. Okay.
Crushed in a pit with I mean, if it's like bunnies, I might like that.
All right, and this is probably the last one I'm going to read here. Participant fully understands and agrees that various fluids, such as food coloring, grease, theatrical blood, or other liquids, may be placed in the participant's mouth. It is participants' responsibility not to swallow these fluids.
What were the fluids again?
Food coloring, grease, theatrical blood, or other liquids. So that's reasonable.
I would need to know specifically what other liquids are.
It's like the ingredients in the bottom of the processed food. It doesn't have to tell you. It's just natural flavors.
I'd be okay with those things. But if there's something else that comes up, like,
bull semen.
Yes. I wasn't going to say it, but if that was in there, I would not want that.
Okay, sorry. I found this is the last one, I promise.
Okay.
Participant fully understands and agrees that if they are selected to visit the dentist, they may have a tooth extracted without Novocaine. It will not hold the company liable.
Nope. I'm out.
Yep. Anyway, that's
out.
That's the kind of stuff that's in here.
Would you?
It's just,
no, I don't like. I'm not a big fan of scary houses.
But for 20 grand,
obviously, either A, the guy is a great manipulator, advertiser, marketer, or no, it's just impossible to go through. I mean, they may keep you there 10, 12 hours. I mean, where people just finally go, screw this, I got to be somewhere.
They should just, here's my thing, they should just put me in a doctor's waiting room for 10 hours. Actually, like, I'm out.
Put me in Walmart.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just put me in Walmart checkout line.
All of these things could happen at Walmart.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I did actually lose a tooth at Walmart.
Did you really?
Yeah.
With no Novocaine.
No Novocaine.
Would you guys do that for 20 grand? No.
They probably have clowns there too.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I did a ton of research trying to dig into this place because I was really interested in the legal side of it and how this could possibly work.
How do you get through all that? I mean, that waiver
here's the
can't
thing.
be legal.
It's all marketing stuff. Like, there's no evidence of anyone doing this. Every major news, like any major or minor, everyone has reported on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've not heard of anyone. There's no interviews of how people actually. They say no one's ever completed it.
Because see, here's the thing. Like, they talk about the waterboarding. Like, I know you're probably breaking some law there, even though you don't hold them liable. Just like the dentistry, you have to hold a license to perform dentistry, and he clearly states if you go to the dentist, he's already naming it the dentist. I think
in quotations.
I think that. I think that.
Quotations.
Yeah, but still, I think just even performing the act. I mean,
right?
I
hate tooth pain. That's the worst. By the way, I got to go.
Yeah. That's brutal. But I wonder if it's actually real.
There is a place. It's a real place. It's some guy who gets off on like manipulating people. And the video I saw on YouTube, I looked into it. Someone managed to get a video out, and it doesn't look scary. It's just some middle-aged white man yelling at you.
Well, that's a shock.
Yeah. I mean, it's all mental things. It's trying to get people's head.
So, but why aren't people finishing it if it's just mental things?
Or actually people even going
I don't know
into
that
it.
anyone's even showing up, or they are getting there and they're like, oh no.
What's the admission price to this place?
Oh, that's a good point too.
The admission price is a bag of dog food for his dogs.
So I think this is nothing but
it's shenanigans.
Guys,
I'm telling you, my fear, and I couldn't do it, would be Walmart with my mother in my ear nagging me.
I mean,
that would be brutal.
I think that should be a bit that we sign up for this thing and do it. All right. So next year we're going to sign up and do this.
Where's it at?
It's in Tennessee. It's
Let's
near
do
Nashville.
it.
It's like just south of Nashville.
Let's
I think.
do it.
Y'all, how long do you think I would last? Literally, like
there'll be a clown at the entrance door taking tickets. You're gonna be like, I'm out of here.
That's it. You have to get through the waiver first.
Here's your dog food. Oh yeah, no, I'm not.
It says
gonna
they can do anything to. I don't think it's legally binding. Anyway,
Yeah.
but
Do this in lieu of the bourbon tour.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we have Tim and Jill. We're going to talk about Airbnb and how it's changed the world and their lives. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast. All right, we're back. You're listening to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast, and with us, my friends, my neighbors, Jill and Tim Sigmond. Tim has been on the show multiple times. Jill, this is your first time. Welcome to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast.
Thank you for having us.
We are going to talk about Airbnb. You guys have a couple of properties, Tullamore Dew, Reach the Beach, and what do you call the one at the house?
The Sweet Spot.
Oh, that sounds like a bakery.
It's a sweet. It's a sweet.
Oh, is it SUITE?
Yes.
Oh, see, there we go. It's a play on words. And those properties you use Airbnb and VRBO for those properties, correct?
Right. Not the Sweet Spot. We only use Airbnb for that.
Okay. And tell us a little bit, what are each one of those properties? What are they like? Start off with Tullamore Dew.
Tullamore Dew is a tiny house located right outside of Hendersonville, North Carolina. It's 264 square feet in a tiny house community.
Wow. 264 square feet. What?
Right. You said tiny house community?
Mm-hmm.
Like?
It's called this Simple Life. And it is a community of all tiny houses. They range from like 524 down to the 200 square foot size.
Wow.
And how many are in that community? Just curious.
Around 100 probably.
Holy cow. So there's 100 tiny homes around there, and do they all share like a common?
There's a community center that has.
Is there a tiny pool?
No, it's actually a good best pool. Pool, laundry facilities. The clubhouse has a pool table and giant TV and that kind of thing.
So if you need to stretch out, you go down to the clubhouse and like actually lay on your couch.
It really doesn't feel that small.
I'm mildly claustrophobic, so.
We actually drive our Mini Cooper to our tiny home.
See, you talked about liking little things.
Like eating little things.
Okay.
I don't like being in little things.
Oh, my pants
different.
would agree with that. Okay, so and so 200 and how many square feet?
264, I think.
Yeah, that's about right. And it's a very unique tiny home with. It's actually very luxurious in the fact that all the amenities are first class as far as the appliances, the fixtures, a spa-type shower. Jill, continue.
Got a huge outside area, big deck. The shower is huge. It's a full story and a half, completely tiled shower.
Oh, wow.
The kitchen is granite, stainless steel appliances.
Holy cow.
So it really feels a lot larger than
the
square footage. But it does have a loft bed. So you have all your living downstairs and a loft bed upstairs. But it has has stairs up to it, not a ladder.
Okay. And because my wife is addicted to watching the tiny home things, I'm assuming there's like storage in the stairs and that fun stuff.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. I know.
Storage. everywhere you can think of.
You almost have to, right?
Absolutely. But when you're inside our tiny home, it just does not feel tiny. We've gotten all of our reviews so far have been 5-star reviews, and everyone raves about the actual how spacious it is inside, that it really doesn't feel tiny.
Wow. And that's in Hendersonville, North Carolina.
It's
or
actually
close to.
it's Flat Rock, but
Okay.
it's like 7 minutes from Hendersonville.
And that's if you want to get away and do a trip to the mountains.
Sure,
Is that about right?
hiking. Of course, I do a lot of cycling, but right out the front door is a lot of cycling. Hiking, a lot of wineries, breweries. We're no more than 10 minutes from all of that. And
Okay.
It's a really unique rental property. I do think it's worth mentioning how we get the name for our properties.
Yeah.
Tullamore Dew, of course, is first and foremost, both our beach property and our mountain property are named after, we're old school here, it's going to show our age, Dan Fogelberg songs. Tullamore Dew is a Dan Fogelberg song.
Okay.
And then also it's, of course, a fine bottle of Irish whiskey.
Nice. All right, so you mentioned Tullamore Dew, and then you said you got a beach property, Reach the Beach. Tell us about that one.
The Reach at the Beach is 1-bedroom, oceanfront, 17th floor, and a really nice area of the northern section of Myrtle. Our building is unique. There's no check-in desk. We've got $1 million homes all around it. It's just a very unique property. And when we bought it, it was a gut job, and we completely remodeled the whole thing, and now it's just our little slice of heaven.
Yeah, that was back in 2014.
That's when you got that one.
Right, and it actually stays booked. And it's also named after a Dan Fogelberg song called The Reach.
Okay.
And I'll expand on as far as the interior of it. It's all of Jill's photography.
Oh, wow.
And each of the photographs are named, and it's in the writing that she put on there of a Dan Fogelberg song.
Okay.
So she has refinished a lot of furniture that's in there, her own personal touches, and she's done a wonderful job. It is a 17th floor, $1 million view. The view is amazing.
Yeah, I follow you on Facebook, and I get very frustrated every time I see you with your feet propped up, a nice drink on the table, and just a beautiful view of the ocean.
I've got a lot of people hating right now.
And it's usually like right in the middle of work when that pops up, and you're like, no, I want to be there so bad. That's fantastic. And then you've got the sweet spot, and that's in your own home.
Yes.
Tell us about that one.
Well, we were sitting in our living room having our evening cocktail, and I just looked up the stairs and I said, we got a hole upstairs that's not being used. I wonder what if we could do an Airbnb here. And we started thinking about it and decided that why not make our house work for us? And so we have a very, very large bedroom upstairs with a huge bathroom and a giant closet. So we turned the closet into a coffee bar, refrigerator, and was right across the hall. We have a small library, and we don't have anybody living upstairs. There's no bedroom, and there's nobody else up there.
Right.
And so we fixed it up and put it on Airbnb, and lo and behold, we started getting guests. And we have just been amazed at how many people we've had come to our house, and it's a really different experience from the tiny house and the condo at the beach, because we're actually getting to meet our guests and have interaction with them. And we've had guests from Germany, Canada, Zimbabwe, the UK, and they come to Concord for all kind of different reasons, from work to concerts to weddings to funerals. And it's been a lot of fun getting to meet our guests and talk to them. Yeah,
and I think, well, why would anybody want to stay in Concord? If they're going to come to Concord, they're going to go to a hotel or whatever. But that's not necessarily the case.
It's for a specific reason. Weddings, on business. One of the last guests, a gentleman from the UK, consultant for Shoe Show here in town.
Yeah.
So he was on his last visit with us a few weeks ago. His second visit with us, and the reason he chose the sweet spot is because he's a master brewer of sorts himself.
Okay.
And he chose our spot based on the breweries within walking distance.
Wow.
You know, Red Hill, giving a shout out to Red Hill, Southern Strain, Little Roberts. But that's how he chose the sweet spot.
Wow. So you mentioned, you looked upstairs and said, hey, can we make this work for us? That seems to be like a pretty popular thing now. In fact, I was reading some statistics that some of the most popular Airbnbs are run by senior citizens and specifically females trying to make some extra income to help supplement their income. Tell us about that process of starting to Airbnb, namely in your own home and your own property. How did that process work when you said, can we make this work, and then actually making it happen?
Well, to get on Airbnb, it's quite a large process of going through all the questions and things that you have to fill out to talk about your property and all the things that you offer, and figuring out your pricing, keeping your calendar, your photographs, and it takes a good while, a couple of days really, to sit down and figure out how you want to market your property to make it inviting to people who'd want to come and stay with you versus staying at a hotel. But a lot of Airbnbs, from talking to our guests who choose Airbnbs over hotels, they're getting a much cleaner environment because they know that, well, you assume that the sheets are being cleaned because you're reading the reviews.
Yeah.
You're reading the reviews of people who've been there before you, and you know exactly what room you're going to get.
Yep.
You know, you see exactly the pictures that are provided, and we're offering better quality for a much cheaper price. Because I even give a breakfast in the morning, so they're getting their room at night. They're getting a breakfast in the morning. They tell me what time, and I have a breakfast set out for them. And you don't get that in a hotel.
Do you put sugar in your grits?
No, I don't do grits.
So you mentioned the reviews. So, like, starting out, you put your property for the first time. How hard is it to get that first guest with if you've never done, you don't have 3 other properties. You
right.
know,
it's
your first time. Like, you're out there.
It was scary. I mean, it's like,
yeah,
they could be crazy, but then they have to trust us too because we could be crazy.
Yeah, so
and we also get to review our guests, so they're on the line as well to behave in a manner that represents them.
It was
well.
exciting to get that first guest.
And ironically, he was coming into town for a cycling event. I'm a cyclist. He came into town for a cycling event that I was doing.
Oh, wow.
And it was such a personable experience because he checks in with us in the morning of the cycling event. We rode over together to the start of the event, and it just worked out, ironically, just very well. Very pleasant experience.
Nice. So that first guest, they're starting to pull up, knots in the stomach, like, oh no, what's this going to be like?
Yeah, it is. It is very nerve-wracking.
Because it also, I would think too, like, do you have that feeling of like they're going to judge our house or they're going to judge us? Or, yeah, that's got to be tough.
But you have to make sure your house is clean.
Yeah, yeah. And
even the part they're not staying in, any part that they can see, you want your house to be clean, your yard, your front porch, all of that.
We had a guest coming in and the driveway was covered in leaves. Well, I blew off the driveway just to make it, look a little more presentable.
Yeah. So after that first guest leave, they start coming in, you start leaving reviews. What happens if you get positive reviews? Does that help? Does that get you to a different level at Airbnb?
If the Airbnb, it does. VRBO, it doesn't.
Okay.
Because they are different. Airbnb, if you get 10 5-star reviews, you get up to be Superhost. And then if you get the next 10, whatever, you get to be Superhost again. And then they offer you like a little incentive. And I think we've been Superhost, I don't know how many times now, but we got this little email from them saying that they give us $100 on our trip that we stayed at Airbnb.
So there's incentives that you can get from Airbnb by being a Superhost. And wow. Huh.
I think every Airbnb house needs to have a rooster in the neighborhood somewhere.
Well, have the greyhound. We don't have a rooster.
Yeah. Everybody loves greyhound Demi.
Well, and that's another question. You talked about marketing. Is there a fear of like people afraid of dogs or
well, that's in your
or,
listing that we
okay.
have a cat in the house and we have a dog in the house.
But also it's gated.
Yes, the dog is gated away from their area, but none of the animals go upstairs in their space.
Gotcha.
But you do have to put all that down, even if you have security cameras. You have to know, are they inside or outside, and
Ooh,
you have to list all of that kind of stuff.
How about it? And so the process of making this your own business and your own, and specifically just the Airbnb, the sweet spot, like you have to run it like a business, right? It's not just throw something online and then we're done. Like what's a normal day in the life of an Airbnb owner?
Well, you have to make sure you're up to date on your calendar and know when you have to be there, when you don't. Because I just walking in, I was answering an email from, I guess we have a guest coming in Friday, and I need to know what time they were going to check in, so we make sure that we're there. Once they're there and they check in, they have a key, they can come and go, and so we do our own thing.
Right.
But we have to make sure that we're going to be there when they want to check in.
And then also anybody can just start at any point. Like, so even while we're sitting here, somebody could say, hey, I want to check in, or I want to get the sweet spot. So you're on all the time, right?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Does that get tiring or?
Not really. With the tiny house and the beach condo, they can do instant booking. They don't have to ask permission as long as they meet the criteria of their age and and the number of people in their party, whatever. They can go ahead and instant book, and then I can get back to them as soon as I can. If I'm available right then, I will respond right away.
Okay.
But in our house, we require 24-hour notice, and they
Okay.
can't instant book it. They have to ask. I say it is so and so, and we're coming for this reason because they are in our home. And
Okay.
kind of a safety issue.
And with our Airbnb, the sweet spot at the house, if we're going out of town, we need to make sure the calendar's blocked so potential guests don't book with us when we could be out of town. So we have to block the calendar off.
Yeah.
Is there a hospitality tax you ought to pay or anything like that?
Airbnb and VRBO just started this. They collect our taxes for us, and they turn them in. We used to have to collect the taxes for VRBO and turn them in. But now they've just started where the taxes are already collected, and we're not responsible for turning them in, but I still have to do the paperwork.
So I guess at the end of the year, they'll generate you a 1099 or a
Yes.
W-9 or something, I guess, for your taxes.
Yeah.
Okay. And you just run that. I guess you guys just run that under your personal right now. You don't have a separate LLC or anything?
Right, just our personal.
Okay. I think it's awesome. I think just talking earlier about starting your own business. I mean, they have spare rooms and spare properties. I mean, people are always looking. When we did our Kentucky tour, Tim was on it also. We stayed at Airbnb there, and it was way nicer than probably getting a Motel 6 or whatever. I mean, more homely, more amenities, closer to where we want to be. Great street entertainment, but I think that this is awesome. People are utilizing what they have, just kind of like the same thing with Uber. Hotels hate Airbnb.
Yeah.
Taxi services hate Uber, and there's other services out there also. I mean, for like logos, $5 or whatever they call it.
Fiverr.
Fiverr. Creative marketers hate that because college kids who are taking a graphic design class can earn a few extra bucks. I mean,
I wonder too if DoorDash has hurt like the pizza delivery business because for a while pizza was one of those things that you could always just get.
It's the one thing you can get delivered.
Yeah.
Jimmy John's and pizza.
Yeah.
Right?
And now like anything could be.
Yeah.
You can get anything. So.
But also I think that DoorDash and services like this have increased revenue for. In fact, I listen to a business podcast because I'm weird, but these apps and these new business models have actually upset the stale statistics for 50 years in the restaurant industry because all of a sudden people aren't interested in really kind of going out. I mean, people still go out certain nights a week, but if they're like, what do we want to eat tonight? That the old choice was we'll go through a drive-through. Now they can look up Grubhub, Chowhound, DoorDash, whatever else, order what they want from their favorite restaurant and get it. So the restaurants have actually seen an increase in take-home sales and delivery sales. So I think you're going to see over the next 5 years probably a shift in our culture and how we eat. That a lot of it will not be going out, but it'll be a lot of revenue, take home and stuff like that. So same thing with this right here. I think you'll depends on what Tim and Jill want to do with their investment, other Airbnbs. But some Airbnb people will take all this money, squirrel it away, and then try to buy another investment property and then try to rent that out. I mean, I think it's a creative way, and if you got the extra property, do it.
Yeah. Any horror stories so far?
We've only had one situation where someone showed up on the wrong day.
Oh no!
But that's when you screenshot. Nope, here it is.
That was for Tullamore Dew. That was just a few weekends ago, and but both parties were understanding, and we got it rectified.
It wasn't a double booking on our part because they were both instant booked themselves, and the guy just put in the wrong date. He had in his mind it was one date, and when he booked was a different date. So,
Tullamore do, Tullamore don't.
Here you go.
If you had to pick one of your three properties, if you didn't live at your already home, where would you guys decide to stay? Are they at the same place or are they different?
I'll be at the beach.
You're the beach person.
I'm the beach.
Tim?
I would be right where we're at right now, at the sweet spot in our home. I do enjoy visiting all the properties. Jill just does a great job with them. Second choice would be the beach.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you guys beach or mountain?
I'm too white for the beach. Yeah. Like, I burn.
I get sand in places I didn't know I had.
But it sounds like you can sit and look at the beach without actually going out
Yes,
there.
and we have the high Adirondack chairs on the deck, the balcony, so you're not sitting in plastic chairs looking through the rails. You're looking over the rails, and so you just don't want to leave.
Yeah, but see, I get moonburn, not just sunburn. I get moonburn.
Oh yeah,
too.
I've got sunburn on the shade before at the beach. So
yeah, I do love the beach. I think there's a tranquility, serenity, listening to those waves. And you guys are obviously in a part of not the dirty Myrtle part, but you guys are in northern Myrtle, so it's a little more relaxing, a little different crowd. There's something very, just back to nature, that raw energy. In fact, I listen to, sometimes if I can't sleep, I'll throw on sounds of waves on my Amazon Prime Music and listen to that to fall asleep. So
you don't listen to the Sleep Whisper podcast?
No, see, that would be too stimulating for me.
Right, that's probably true.
I'd probably be up like cleaning and vacuuming carpet at 4 a.m. listening to that guy.
What are some of the coolest stories or interactions that you've had with guests?
Well, we've come across some guests in some unusual ways. Like I was walking on Demi on the beach, Demi, our greyhound, and this couple just came up to us and started talking. Oh, they just loved her and everything. And they said, "Where do you stay where you can keep a dog?" And I said, "We own our condo here." And they were staying half a mile down the beach, and they were renting for the full month of February. And they said, "Oh, we wish we could bring our dogs." And I said, "Well, only the owners can have their dogs here." But he goes, "Well, do you have a nice place?" And I said, "We think we have a very nice place." And she said, "Well, we're always looking for someplace new to stay." I said, "Well, come on up." And they came up, and he walked right in, and he sat down in our leather recliner, and he said, "This is the first comfortable seat I've sat in a month." And they visited us. They're super nice people, and they rented from us for the next 2 years. And then the third year, they said, "We're not going to be able to come back for a whole month now because we have a new grandbaby."
Oh,
so,
wow.
That was fun to get to know them and have some communication. And we've had guests that have been like, you don't know that, you never would know if you ran into them on the street, but they've rented from us so many times, and we've had emails and texts. You feel like you do know them. And we had a couple that live in Charlotte, and I'd never met them, just, emails and texts. And he said, well, they were going to go down, and they knew we were getting ready to do some remodeling things. Was there anything they could take down for us?
This was for the beach.
Yeah, for the beach. And they said, "Can we take anything down for you?" And I'm thinking, that is just so odd.
As a matter of fact, you can. So.
But I said, "Are you serious?" And he said, "Well, yeah." And I said, "Well, we've got this big ceiling fan. If you want to take it down, we'd love for you to."
We have a piano for you to move.
Yeah. So he took the new coffee pot and the ceiling fan down. So Tim actually met them came by Tim's work, and Tim met them, and he set the coffee pot up and used it and said it was awesome. And that they continue to rent from us, and had that one interaction. But things like that are pretty cool.
At the Airbnb, at the Sweet Spot, we meet our guests personally, and I've sat down and had a beverage with them before, and
we've taken them out to dinner.
Oh wow!
We've gone out, to the breweries with them. If we had some guests that were actually eating at the same restaurant we were, and we sent them over dessert. And
we try not to be intrusive.
Yeah,
very respective of their.
You can tell the people who want to interact with you.
Yeah.
We had this one couple that were here for a marriage retreat, and they came the last night they were with us. They came in and we said, "So, what did you learn?" And they shared with us all the things they'd been going through.
And they were from overseas.
Overseas.
Forget which country, Zimbabwe or
yeah.
Oh wow!
Just came to Kannapolis for a marriage retreat, all the way from Zimbabwe.
I feel like there would be a closer marriage retreat to go to.
You would think.
Right across the river or whatever.
Right. Yeah, no. Listen, I've seen the reviews that you guys have posted. People will write nice notes and whatnot, and I've seen those and I've read those. One of the things that really strikes a chord is just the personal touches that you guys put into those things. Even a friend, Chris, was at the tiny house, and he was saying that there was personal touches you guys left specifically for him, that was really cool. So you guys don't just rent it out and just say, "Hey, have a nice trip." You guys really, put your heart and soul into this thing.
Well, go ahead, Jill.
Well, that's what builds the business. If someone tells us we'd like to be there, we're going to celebrate our 25th anniversary. Well, when I go down to the beach, we have this locking trunk for our housekeeper, and I will have bottles of wine, and I'll have sticky note on, put this one out for this date, this date, this date.
Oh, wow.
And then write a personal card for whatever it is they're celebrating, so that she sets it out with the glasses, and so they know that it's specifically for them. And the same thing when we had a cyclist friend that were coming to the beach, and we put out had some gels for him to have when he was down there with his wine. Or at Tullamore Dew, it's a bicycle theme decor on the inside, and we had a cyclist friend come, so we made sure we had the bicycle sheets. We have one set of sheets of bicycles on them. So they got the bicycle sheets, the bottle of wine that had the bicycle on it.
Oh, wow.
And then Chris Abney, if I can say a name, he was there last weekend. I know he's a bourbon drinker, so I made sure the cleaning lady set out a couple of mini bottles and a bottle of wine for his for the end. So set that out for them. So we do try to have personal touches if we know it's a special occasion. And then also after, with each of our 3 properties, after a guest stays with us, Jill sends out a thank you note. And
the thank you cards each have an original photograph of either a picture of the tiny house, or at the beach it's maybe a sunrise picture or something from that area that I've taken. And so I send a personal card with a handwritten note. No matter if they've, as their first time or if their 10th time staying with us, for every time I send a note thanking them, because if it weren't for them, then we couldn't have our properties.
Yeah.
And
that's really cool.
I think it makes a difference to build that clientele.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's the reason why you go back to local restaurants, because you know the owner. You know that they're going to treat you nice, and they're going to throw out a free drink or a plate of nachos your way or something like that every once in a while. You like that personal touch. I mean, when we had the restaurants, people would come to my daughter's birthday parties because I'd have them there. They just, customers became guests and friends, and it'd be kind of cool though. Like for example, some of your international state visitors, I wonder if they would be open to you guys visiting them and saying, "Hey, we'll take you around the town or whatever."
We have been invited twice. Our UK guy just left last week. He's stayed with us twice now, and he said, "You've got to come and stay with us." And they've got a B&B. They've turned their garage into 4 different units. It's a big
garage.
It's a 4-car garage. He says they've got 4 different suites or whatever, and he's got 8 beer taps in his living room, and
let's go.
All right.
He said, y'all come and stay with us.
Biggins Bourbon Trail International.
I just had this mental thought of like in the middle of the night, the garage door just goes up and you're like, hey, wait.
Somebody else has the remote down the street. I think this is awesome. So what part of the UK is he in?
South of Manchester.
Okay. Just, I just find it intriguing meeting people from different parts of the world, and also this fine country we live in, because people are just unique in places we grow up. I mean, you're Tim, you're one of the only natural Concordians here that I know of.
Oh, about 57 years, and I would label Jill and myself as being more of introverts versus extroverts. I would think we'd lean towards that side, but when we have guests that come in, it almost seems like it opens us up, and we have no problem interacting. We actually enjoy meeting our guests, learning about them, without invading their personal space or whatever. Very respectable to that, but we enjoy when the guests arrive now, and we're not nervous.
Well, it's a production for you guys.
Yeah.
It's like your own mini stage,
sure.
And you guys are sharing a part of your life, the towns that you love, and obviously all your personal touches that you guys do. I mean,
we really enjoy it.
Yeah, obviously, and like I said, a business is word of mouth, and reviews are great word of mouth on these websites and apps, and I mean everything you guys do. I'm sure that's great marketing.
And one thing we haven't talked about is for the Reach at the Beach and for Tullamore Dew, I manage we have a Facebook page for each of those individually, and I manage the Facebook pages, and I make sure that on a weekly basis we're updating the content, posting a picture, whether it be a drink or from the balcony of the beach or the deck of Tullamore Dew. Try to entice the folks that have liked and followed us to come try us out, and I think they enjoy. We have many followers for both of those properties on Facebook.
So you may be sitting there thinking, hey, I've got an extra room in my house, and I'd like to make some extra income. Where do they start? Like, how do you even begin the process? I know you kind of mentioned like just sitting down and trying to figure out how you're going to market your property.
You have to think about, would you stay in that situation? Because our upstairs is completely separate from our living space. I think it makes it more inviting for somebody else. So that's kind of where we started. And then once you log on Airbnb and you say, it says list a property, and then it walks you through all the bazillion things and the questions that you have to
40
answer.
pages.
Pretty much.
40-page waiver.
And that it walks you through it all. Okay. And then you do a lot of research too. Go on Airbnb and look in your area to see what other people are doing and what are the prices, what are they getting for their money. Read the reviews and that kind of thing.
Jill is constantly reviewing prices that are being offered at the beach, in the Flat Rock area, and here in Concord and the surrounding area, Charlotte, to make sure that we are right there at the, no pun intended, right there at the sweet spot of pricing for what we offer, and she's done a great job with that.
So who are you trying to, who's the competition, I guess, is it the hotel or is it other properties?
Properties are different as far as like the beach and tiny house. Beach condo, you're obviously competing with other condos and hotels. And so you have to, I look at a lot of properties that are right in our area, because our area is a different area from down the town area. If you want to stay downtown, then go for it. But if you don't want to stay downtown, then I look at the nearby condominiums and kind of watch their prices, look at what their rooms are like, read reviews, what they didn't like about something, or we wish you had, whatever, to make sure that we always stay on top of that. But the properties are so different in that with the mountains, people book a week in advance, 2 weeks in advance. Mm-hmm. The beach, they rent a year in advance.
Oh, wow. Holy cow.
So that's a big difference there. But we are the tiny house. We're only competing with the other tiny houses in that area, because if you want the tiny house experience, that's a unique experience versus staying in a hotel. I wouldn't go, I'm going to stay in a hotel, or I'm going to stay in a tiny house.
Yeah. The reason I ask is I was in Charleston about a month ago or so, and I stayed at an Airbnb instead of a hotel because of the price. And I was there on business, but I had my dad down with me. Instead of getting 2 hotel rooms for, whatever that would have been a night, I got I actually got a 3-bedroom and a 2-bedroom place for weeks for the price of a single hotel room in Charleston. And that was my I knew it'd be nicer, but the price was, I couldn't make a different call, basically. Force the decision.
It's amazing, just the price difference between that. And so you kind of wonder, will that force hotels to have to lower their prices, you think, just to compete with Airbnb?
I think it's too early to tell. I think it's still so new that I think what will happen is the hotel industries will be like Walmart, where they are blockbuster, slow to react to new technology, slow to react to new competition, and then they'll end up Airbnb, and these guys will probably, VRBO, these guys will probably just own the new wave, because they're so antiquated in their technology and antiquated in their business model.
Yeah, and some hotels are actually advertising on Airbnb and VRBO, because I noticed like the Embassy Suites and like Home 2 Suite, like the more extended stay type places. I think one of them might have been like a Holiday Inn, but it was like those. I was looking through and went, oh, this looks nice. Oh, wait a minute, that's a hotel. That's not what I want.
When it says ad, that's not good. Don't click on those ads.
Right. Okay.
That's the problem.
Thank you.
Yeah. The other thing that we were just talking the other day, and you mentioned like even this experience with Airbnb is changing the way you guys look at just property in general, because now you kind of have an idea of, hey, would this be a good property for an Airbnb?
Right. Whenever we go to the beach, because I would like to live at the beach, which probably never happened, and I love real estate. So anytime there's an open house, we'll go and, look at open houses or whatever. And I look at everything and go, where's the Airbnb suite? Because there's not one, then there wouldn't be any use in looking any further. We've seen, lots of houses will have like a basement garage apartment, or apartment over a garage, or the in-law suite or whatever. But that'd be the only way to buy another property and let somebody else pay your mortgage.
100%. You're shaking your head, pretty surprised.
I'm sorry, you said in-law suite. That's just that needs to go away.
That whole
term. Nope.
Nope.
Airbnb suite.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
I wonder if we could change the whole term.
But you can. I guess I could refuse her. Yeah, I wouldn't instant book my mother-in-law. So okay.
My in-laws are permanently banned from my property, so it don't matter.
All right, so here's some interesting things I wanted to bring up about specifically Airbnb. Do you guys know where the word air came from for the Airbnb?
I would assume airplane or travel.
That's a good guess. Anybody?
Is it an acronym for something?
No. The air in Airbnb came as a result of Brian Chesky and his roommate renting an air mattress on the living room floor. Airbnb started 3 guys. They literally rented out air mattresses in San Francisco, and people could rent the air mattress to stay there.
That sounds
cheaper.
expensive.
Well, you can actually do that and probably make a living in San Francisco, because like the average,
The
one
rental
bedroom, one bath, probably rental is probably $2,500 there.
It's ridiculous.
It's ingenious.
Or more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how it started. So using an air mattress.
That's cool.
That's how the whole thing started. Since 2017, there's been a 120% increase in the number of senior hosts over 60. So like I was saying earlier, like this is a huge draw for them, for seniors that, either stopped working or wanted some supplemental income for them. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Like, what are the hours? How many hours would you say you guys put into, say, one property a week?
That varies greatly.
It's almost a full-time job for Jill.
Oh,
It depends. During busy booking season at the beach, a couple hours a day.
Because you're organizing like cleaners coming, you've got that scheduled, and then watching the calendar and making sure you have maintenance people available if someone breaks something, those sorts of things, right?
Yeah.
This is a statistic in 2016. 49% of Airbnb users used Airbnb as an alternate to hotel rooms, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Like 40% in 2016. So there's no doubt that it's getting more and more popular. One of the things that this article mentions is with business travelers, and you guys said that you've had business folks in, but for us, like we have to use corporate like hotels. We're not able to use Airbnb. So that's one of the things that they were talking about. How does Airbnb become more corporate friendly for folks to be able to use their services? So I thought that was pretty interesting. The other thing that you mentioned, 53% of travelers use Airbnb because of price, saying that it's usually cheaper. 53% use Airbnb because of the cost savings. 30% use it because of the location. 33% use it because of the authentic experience, while 28% use it because it's an easy-to-use app. So I don't know if that math adds up, but that's a lot.
We don't do math here, so that's...
You're right. We don't do math because math
Fake
is hard.
news polls.
This was also interesting. Another statistics. Airbnb hosts could pay 81% of their rent by listing a 2-bedroom home.
I believe that.
You guys were saying they could bring in that income. Airbnb hosts could pay their full rent in Miami and Philadelphia if they fill their room for 21 days. That's quite impressive. You could pay your whole rent for 21 days.
In a year.
20
a month. Like what's
per
the
month.
21 days a month.
Right.
It's full.
If it's full, we'll pay your whole rent.
Pay the whole rent. Okay.
For our Airbnb in Concord, upstairs at the Sweet Spot, we're averaging about 11 nights a month.
Okay. But that significantly will help reduce the cost of a mortgage if you have that.
Absolutely.
I'm not getting into your business, but I mean, that would help.
Sure.
We're
both retired, and it's good retirement income.
Yeah, no doubt. This is interesting. 54% of Airbnb guests are female and 46% are male.
One more time. What is that?
54 are your female, 46 are male.
I'm kind of surprised by that.
I believe that. That's about...
I'm surprised by that.
Does it say because women travel more? My guess is because if you're like me, I just let my wife handle the vacation plans and just say, you deal with it.
It could
I don't
be.
know if that's
it also
true or
could
not.
be safety.
That's the other part that they brought up, is because they said that most people feel uncomfortable having the opposite sex in their home. So senior citizens, mainly female, will only rent to female guests. So, and you can put that in your stipulations on who you're going to rent to. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Earnings, it's estimated that if a host rents out a 2-bedroom apartment for a year, he or she can earn an average of $20,000.
Depends on where it is. That could be very easy to do.
An extra $20,000.
I see that.
Yeah.
Airbnb generated $93 million in profit in 2017.
How much could I put like a tent in my backyard for? That's what I want to know.
You know, and
Glamping.
Yeah.
you say that, but Jess,
They're there
Yeah.
on Airbnb. You see them.
yeah, Jess and I were actually looking at Airbnb a room in our home before we got inundated with children. But we looked around and there were some really sketchy things going on Airbnb. It was a trailer and a guy said he would only rent to females. And it was just sketchy, and like a picture of the bed that they would stay in. And you're like, oh, no. Why?
Is that a Superhost?
No, there was no Superhost there. But it was interesting to see.
40-page waiver.
Yeah.
It was interesting to see just the level. Like you can have sketch guy, that is not allowed within 50 feet of a school, or places like yours that are really nice, that are, a fantastic place to stay. But I thought that was interesting. You could put a tent on the back of your property there.
Yeah.
Millennials, you'll like this, Mojo. Millennials account for roughly 60% of all guests who ever booked on Airbnb. 60%.
That's the difference between VRBO and Airbnb. We have VRBO and Airbnb on the tiny house. We only do VRBO at the beach. And the majority of our guests are renting through Airbnb, and because it's a tiny house that has a loft, they're younger people. And so we get a lot more bookings through Airbnb than we do VRBO.
Interesting.
I think it's a bigger name, maybe also. Like I'd heard of Airbnb way before I heard of VRBO. I think it had a different name at one point, didn't it? Wasn't it like the app changed names on my phone or something? It was called something else, I feel like. Because my dad would rent property for like family vacations, and he would send me a link. It was always the VRBO. So when I went to rent a place, I started looking at the VRBO. And then the only reason I didn't go is because there were some descriptions that were not accurate. When I went to pay for it, they wouldn't take the money. So I went elsewhere.
How about you? I also didn't know this. There's $1 million insurance policy for Airbnb hosts. Do you guys know that you have $1 million policy?
Absolutely.
So I'll rent it out. I'll like rampage your entire house,
Trash our place,
and like beat you all up. You'll take the $1 million, and then we'll split it.
Let's plan on that. That's a good. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I'm going to instant book tonight.
Yeah,
the house.
tonight.
How about that?
But you got to give them 24-hour notice.
Oh man, we'll do this tomorrow. But I thought that was interesting. That they do $1 million policy just in case something goes haywire, and you have to sign a 40-page waiver. Wow, I thought that was kind of cool. Did not know that.
Yeah, so they're protecting you, so you don't have to carry that extra insurance, I guess.
Right.
Makes it more palatable to start and get involved in the business.
The average cost for an Airbnb rental is $160.47.
Ooh,
It'd raise our prices.
I think we do. We are actually going to raise them quite a bit come the next year for the Republican National Convention.
Look now, guys.
See, and that's something you can do too. Is you can adjust the rates whenever you want to. Yeah.
We've got some thoughts on that, and we've looked at studies, et cetera, from the 2016 conventions, and we will be adjusting our prices accordingly.
Yeah. We were too late. We were going to rent our entire house out when we lived in Laurel Park for the DNC, and that could have paid for a rent for several months just for that 1 week. So congratulations, guys, on that one. Yeah. You should go get that tiny house, put it in my backyard. We'll be good to go. Just bring it down with you. Guys, anything else?
I think it's just a cool story. Yeah. A cool opportunity for people out there that have the opportunity to have extra space to do that. So,
no doubt.
Yeah, it's just fascinating to me that they exist.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's almost like the gig economy a little bit, but just the fact that you can do this and people, like so many people are doing it. It's not just like a handful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you remember as a kid, we were always taught don't talk to strangers and never get in a stranger's car. Now we're just doing it all over the place, right? Now you're paying to do it.
Yeah.
Good gracious, y'all. Times have changed. Well, guys, we're going to have all your information linked on our show notes. So if anybody wants to go to Tullamore Dew, the sweet spot, reach the beach, granted, you'll have to wait a year to get to the beach, but you can go ahead and book now. We'll have all that information on our show notes. So we're really excited to talk to you guys. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Guys. We appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Please go to our Facebook page, Southern Fried Philosophy, or our website at southernfriedphilosophy.com. Wherever you subscribe and listen to your podcast, just go there, look for Southern Fried Philosophy. Hit the subscribe button, go like and rate us, review us, share your favorite episodes to your friends, pester them till they listen, whatever it takes. Also, as I do every episode, if you're not signed up to be an organ donor yet, please go to your DMV or check out your local Life Share or whatever organization you may have in your state or community. Sign up to be a donor. I'm here today because of a donor donation of a heart. So just want to see people kicking around, and if you don't need it when you take it with you. So just leave it around for somebody else.
Again, thank you for that information, that reminder. It's good to remember. Because of you, I did go to the DMV and signed up. So
I signed up too, and they allowed me. I couldn't believe it.
Wow. How about you? I feel like when I leave the DMV, I need a heart transplant because it's just like, rah. Guys, again, thanks for tuning in. Please, please, please go out, like, share, subscribe our episodes. We know that there are more of you out there that aren't listening. So listen, this is an indictment on you. Go listen to the episode, which you're actually doing now, so this is pointless.
Well, if you share your episode, I'll send you my Smarties from the Halloween tree bag.
Hey.
Listen, if you share your episodes, I'll even send you my Snickers. So there's that.
Whoa.
So that's some heavy stuff. Guys, again, thanks for tuning in. You're listening to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast. And as always, keep looking up. You're listening to the SFP Radio Network.